Okay, guys, recording again, another Friday class for you. So we're just going to do body Pilates. So let's go ahead and get cracking, shall we? We're going to begin lying on our back, as we do. And knees bent, feet grounded to the floor. Okay, perfect. So knees and feet are hip width distance apart. Make sure the feet are also run nicely paralleled. Arms reaching down, slightly pulled away, palms faced up. Shoulders are not only going to roll open, but you're also going to lightly press them down into the floor to open up your chest. Feel the crown of your head reaching to the back of your workspace and the chin landing fist distance for length to your spine. Let's softly close the eyes here to go more inward. We'll be beginning, of course, our practice with our breath. So let's take an inhale through the nose and then an exhale out through the mouth. Long and steady. Inhale, breathe in deep. Exhale, purse lips, steady stream of air all the way down to the bottom. Your inhale is going to start low in belly, fill to ribs, pull up into the chest. Exhaling from top of chest, down through ribs. That last bit out through lower belly region. Kind of feel the core begin to engage. Letting the ribs expand when you're inhaling. Squeeze that breath out from beginning to end and knit the ribs back to your midline. So it's an easy inhale through the nose. Powerful exhale out through the mouth. Let's take 4 more here. Inhaling deeply. Audible, powerful. Force it out and feel those muscles really firming up. Belly rises and muscles relax on an inhale. Core contracts and then lower belly draws downward deeply to spine. Exhaling. Let's do 2 more here. Breath in. Breath out. 1 more. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, slowly open the eyes. Take the arms now close beside you. Turn your palms to face down, but still keep the openness across your chest. Feel your triceps and palms press into the floor. What I want us to start with this practice is focusing on the neutrality of our pelvis. So sometimes we can hyperextend or do the opposite, right? Tuck in too much. So we're going to feel this within ourselves. So imagine your pelvis was a bowl of soup. It's hot soup. Okay. So on an inhale, you're going to tip the bowl back, so as if you're trying to pour soup into your belly button. So the tailbone kind of tucks and lifts off the ground. And then when you exhale, feel the tailbone press into the floor, tilt the pelvis forward as if you're trying to spill soup towards the heels of your feet. So the lower back lifts off the ground. Breathe in, tilt the pelvis towards you so that the soup spills to your belly button. And then exhale, tilt it forward, spill to your heels. Let's do 2 more of these. Breath in, tip back. And then rock forward. Once more, spill the soup into your belly button. Spill the soup down to your heels. And then find your neutral bowl to where the soup doesn't spill at all. Wonderful. Inhale, let's take the right foot, lift it off the ground and draw the knee to the chest. Keep the shape of your leg. Exhale, return the foot back down using core strength. Something we don't necessarily have to do, but we're training our bodies to do such. So left foot comes off the ground, the knee pulls to chest. Exhale, firm belly, return that foot down with control all the way to the end. March the right leg in, inhale. Release down slowly, exhale. Left knee pulls in, breathe in. Release down, release out. Let's do one more to each side. Inhale, so really refraining from activating your hip flexors. Keep them as loose as you can while the core takes hold. Once more, left foot comes off the ground, the knee pulls to chest. And then exhale, return that foot to the floor. Good. Once it has, take your feet wide and the knees wide. Arms out to T. Inhaling, let's lower your legs to the right side. Keep your upper body stable and strong. Firm belly here. Exhale, pull the legs back up to center. Then inhale, lower your legs over to the left. And then exhale, back up to center once again. Let's do a few more to each side. Working on warming up the lower back, working on hip mobility, and working on core, right? Connecting to it. So again, this is another movement where we don't have to use our core. Our legs can do just fine without. However, we want to make sure that the legs feel like they're just along for the ride, that they're not taking over. Inhale to your left. Let's do one more each side. Breath in. Breath out. One more time. Breath in to your left. Exhale, draw back up to center, then stay there. Heel toe the feet so they're back to hip width apart. Then pull your lower belly in deep and lift your feet off the ground. Both of them draw knees to chest, hands at your knees. Let's draw circles with our legs to massage out the lower back, the SI joints just above your tailbone. Good, then pause and reverse direction. Deep breath in, long breath out. Good, then bring the legs into still. Let's separate the legs now with our hands, breathing in. Circle them around and back together again. Exhale. Inhale, separate and open. Circle around and back in. Let's do two more of these. A little bit of more hip mobility and massaging out of the hip flexors. One more time. Breath in, open, circle around and back together. Exhaling. Good. Once there, place both hands to your right knee while you stretch your left leg all the way down onto the floor. Flexed foot to anchor in. Hug your right leg in closer to body, stretching out glutes and lower back. Shoulders pull away from your ears. Draw circles with that right foot to warm into the ankle. Take your time. Again, range of motion over speed. Then reverse the direction of movement. And then take the foot into still and extend your right arm out to its side. Press that shoulder to floor. As many breaths as you need, the leg is going to cross over to your left side. As you look over right shoulder, coming into a spinal twist. Ease into it. Guide yourself there through your inhale and exhale. And make sure you stay anchored in that right shoulder. That you breathe deeply into the space. Good. Continue to keep the twist of your body. Just look up at the ceiling and take your left arm also out to a T. I have to scooch over a little bit, sorry guys. So with the legs still crossed over, looking up at the sky, inhale, prepare yourself. Exhale, start to straighten that right leg across the body. Pushing out through the heel of your foot. Yowza, yeah, right along the side of the leg, that IT band. Rebend the knee on an inhale. Exhale, start to straighten the leg. External rotation, and feel your leg actively pull closer towards your chest. Yeah. Bend the knee. Inhale one more time. This is a sensitive one. Extend out slow. Push through heel. External rotation. Draw in towards chest. Yeah. Rebend the knee on an inhale. Unwind with firmed belly. Exhale. Once you have come back through center, stretch your right leg out to meet your left. Then pull the left knee in, both hands holding on. Gently hug the left leg to body. Shoulders drop, and we're stretching our backside. Stay hugged, draw circles with the foot, warm into the ankle. Then reverse direction. Let the foot come then back into still and extend your left arm out to its side. As many breaths as needed now. You're going to cross the leg to your right and look over your left shoulder. Rotation. Allow every exhale to melt you more. What can you release? What can you soften? Good. Staying in your twist, looking up at the sky. Right arm comes out to T. You'll breathe in. Now your left leg starts to straighten out across your body on the exhale. Rebend your knee. Breathe in. Again, as the leg extends out, energy out through the heel, externally rotate thigh, pull that thigh closer to chest. Rebend the knee, inhaling. Once more, extension, feeling this again along the side of your leg, IT band. Rebend the knee, breathe in. Unwind slowly on the exhale. And once you have done that, bend your knees, ground your feet to the floor. Arms can come beside you. We're going to take now that right ankle and cross it over the left knee. Flex foot, push the leg out, open up your hip space. We're going to keep the left foot grounded for this one. We're going to offer just a little bit different of a movement for the hip stretch in this place. So notice how your hip feels now and take a breath in. When you exhale, you're going to roll to your left side, perhaps as far as allowing the right foot to touch the ground. Notice how it changes the stretch to your hip. And then pull the legs back up to center. Inhale, but make sure you engage your core before you begin that. Yeah. So again, exhale, lean all the way over to your left. And again, maybe that foot is allowed to touch ground. Belly firmed, draw back up. Breathe in. Twice more, lean over. Lift. Feel that in your waistline, yeah? Once more, lean to your left. And then draw back up. Let's stay here. Ankle still over the knee, right leg still actively pushing out. Interlace fingers, take hands behind head and keep the arms wide. Breathe in. Exhale, lift up head, neck, and shoulders, eyes to navel. Return down on an inhale. Again, exhale, lift. Maybe the lift is just the head, that's okay. Take it down, breathe in. We are going to add, so now as we lift up head, neck, and shoulders, take a twist to your right towards the end of your breath. Return down on an inhale, keep those legs nice and steady. Again, exhale, straight on lift with a little twist at the end. Same side, right twist, and then recenter, breathe in. We'll do 2 more of those. Exhale, squeeze it out. Return down, breathe in. One more time. Return down. And then release hands, arms beside. Right foot uncrosses, lands to the floor. Let's go the other side. Left ankle over right knee. Flexed foot, pushing leg out, hip space. Take a moment before we begin moving to shift your attention to your left side. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lean all the way over to your right. Again, maybe perhaps the left foot can touch down to the floor. And then pull back up, breathe in, make sure the core is engaged. Again, leaning to your right. Take your time, don't drop it, guide it down. So muscles are working there as well, okay? Come back up on an inhale. We'll do 2 more of these. Good, breathe in, pull up. One more time. Good, stack up, breathe in, and then stay there, breathe out. Interlace fingers, hands back behind the head, elbows stay wide, leg still presses out. When you exhale next, lifting up head, neck, shoulders, just a straight on lift. And then return down. Check back in with that pelvic bowl, right? Keep that soup from spilling when you pull up to your curl. And then return down, breathe in. Now we'll offer the twist right at the end. So come straight up through center, then right towards the bottom of your breath. Take it over to the left. And then come back through center as you return back down. Wring it out like a wet towel. Breathe in, return down. Let's do 2 more. Release. Once more. Good. And then come back down through center. Release hands, arms beside you, and left foot grounding down to the earth. Once it has, let's take the right leg and lift it up to the sky. Hold the back of the leg with both hands and root the tailbone down. Push leg away from you first for length. Draw in next for stretch. Maintain length to it. So if you notice your knee was starting to bend, indicator that pull is too much, and or you've lost your push energy. So find it within your body to lengthen that leg as best you can. And maybe you pulsate in here. If you're finding that you have really tight backs of legs, this is a nice way to kind of ease better into it, warm into it, which can also help to get more depth into your stretch. Wonderful. If you were pulsing in, go ahead and come into a still stretch. Holding it there, draw circles with the foot. So circling the foot will stretch into the shin and the calf depending upon the angle in which the foot is in at that time. So make sure to find full range of motion within. And take a pause and reverse direction. Big inhales, strong, steady exhales. Good. And take the foot into still. Point the toes. Release the stretch and keep keep the leg lifted. Sorry, it took me a second there. But because we were in a stretch, the leg was probably pulled in a little bit too close. So let the leg pull forward a bit so the knee is stacked above the hip, and then you're going to externally rotate the thigh here. When you inhale, take that right leg, begin to lower it towards the ground. Keep it stiff like a board and firm in your belly. Exhale, use your core strength to pull that leg back up. Stack nice. Again, come down with resistance as if your leg were moving through molasses. Then exhale, pulling back up. Twice more, come down. Exhale, find your lift. With this last one, lowering the leg downward to a level you can maintain, hold it there, and then draw circles. Firmed belly, keep everything else steady. 3, 2, 1. Pause, reverse. Inhale, exhale. 3, 2, 1. Good. Draw the knee in, hold it with your right hand, and draw circles with the leg here. Just kind of massage out the hip flexor. And then release that foot back to the ground. Left leg lifting. Hold the back of it and anchor in. Press forward first for more length, then draw in to get into the stretch. And again, if you're like me and tight, just kind of micro pulsing in just helps with that ease into the stretch. And be gentle with that too. We don't ever want to yank the leg in closer. That could pose some trouble for the muscles. So let's be nice and safe when we get into our stretches. All right, if you are pulsating, you're just going to hold that stretch from here on out so that you can draw circles with the foot. Again, we're getting just different angles of the shin, the calf. We're also getting into the ankle and the top of the foot. So the circle stems from the ankle joint, so make sure that the leg doesn't twirl around while the foot does. Good. Pause, reverse direction. Breath in, breath out. Good. Then take the foot into still and then point the toes. Release the leg, arms beside you, and let the leg pull forward a bit and external rotation of. On an inhale, begin to lower that leg towards the ground. Stretch forward with the heels or with the toes of your feet. Exhale, belly draws in and the leg lifts up. Again, lowering, inhaling. Lifting. Exhaling. Let's do 2 more of these. Come down with resistance. Pull up with core power, no momentum. One last time. Take the leg down. This time we're going to hold it here. Make sure you're still pointing those toes, and we draw circles. Steady everything else. 3, 2, 1. Let's pause and reverse. Breath in for 3 and out. 2, 1. Slowly pull the knee towards chest, hand to knee, circles with the leg. Massage out your hip flexor. Okay, so we got a little mix there of both stretching and strengthening within our body. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and draw both knees into the chest. We're going to work with leg extensions next. We're going to do a classic one first, and then we're going to move into more of a varied version of that can be a little bit more challenging on our body. So with the knees drawn in, arms are going to either be close down beside you. If you want more support, they'll be out to T. If you want less support, you're going to lift your arms up to the sky. You could also choose to do this with head grounded or head lifted up. You can keep the arms elevated if that's where they were, or you can take your hands behind your head. Take an inhale. Extend both legs away from your body. Exhaling, move slow. Take your time. And then draw the knees back in again. So ideally here, continue the movement. Exhale. When the legs are pushing away and pulling back in, our upper body, our spine kind of likes to slide around on our workspace. Can we prevent that? Extension, imprint the spine to the ground to help with that. Now feel your hip flexors, pull the legs closer to body. Again, extension out. And then draw back in. We're going to do 2 more of these. Push it away. Keep those elbows wide if the hands are behind your head. Draw back in. Once more. And inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, release and recover. Okay. So that was our first set, right? Our classic leg extension. Our core works to protect our lower back and to help to stabilize our upper body throughout it. We're going to move next into, like I mentioned, a varied version of it called frog press. So exact same breath work and movement of legs, just in a different position. With that different position, it's going to make it much more challenging for our hips and our core, and it's also going to help start to activate our inner thighs. So frog press, knees to chest. You're going to open your knees a bit wider than shoulder width. Then you're going to flex your feet and take the inner edges of your heels together. So you create a V shape with your feet. Now, throughout this movement, what's going to tend to want to happen within our body is that the knees start to pull in closer and the feet start coming back into parallel. We want to refrain from that. So we're using our hip strength to keep the openness of both the knees and the V of feet. Here we go. Take an inhale. Head grounded, arms beside you. Exhale. Extension of legs away from body. And then now feel the inner thighs squeeze tightly together. Touch and connect. Draw the knees back, and again, wide knees, wide feet. Extension, again, lower to floor, much more challenging. Higher to sky, a little bit more ease. Draw the knees back in again. If you want more, you can lift the head and shoulders and take hands behind the head. Draw back in again. Inhale. We'll do 2 more of these. Squeeze legs tight, tight, tight. Draw in. Inhale 1 more time. Extension. Keep the extension. Bring your arms to hover. Pump the arms. Keep your breath for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep rolling open. 6 with the legs. 5. Good. 4. Stiff arms. 3. Tight core. 2, 1. And then rest. Pull it all in. Recovery. So to make note, right, when you see me on this video and to what I cue for, your body may look different than mine. Your body may not want what my body is doing, and that's okay. Everyone that joins these classes have been practicing me for quite some time now. So you know your body, right? You know what it needs. You know what you need to give it. So don't feel like you have to do what you see me doing. If my head is lifted, but your head is too, and you're only just feeling strain in your neck, please, please, please take your head back to the floor, right? We want to eliminate tension and strain, and we want to gain strength. And there's many, many ways to do it and positions we can bring our body in. So just be very, very kind to yourself. Okay, let's continue forward, shall we? Roll-ups. Legs are going to extend all the way down to the floor. Flexed feet. Arms are overhead. So remember here, the ribs like to pop up, so we're going to seal the ribs down to activate the core. If you need help getting yourself propped up to seated, you're going to take an elbow down to the ground. If the roll-up is not for you, for your body, you'll start in a seated fashion with arms extended. You tuck your tailbone, roll back. You're going to hold for an inhale. Then you're going to stack and fold here. And then you'll come back up to seated tall. That's going to be, here's your beginning. And then that'll be your ending point as well, to stack back up. Okay, that'll be the movement for that. If you're choosing to start all the way down to the ground, you know the work here. Start lifting on the inhale. Firm belly on the lift up. Stack tall and then fold. Stack tall again, breathing in. And then rolling down slower than you like. Really tucking the tailbone under, pushing out through those heels, anchoring your legs to the floor. Returning down to the floor again. So pausing here for a moment. I'm going to do the modified version that I had just shown with the seated variation. So I know you guys know your roll-ups. I will cue, right, to each. Inhale, begin the movement. Exhale, roll up to seated. And then fold over the legs. Inhale, stack up tall. And then exhale, roll back down to the floor. So I'm cueing for the original roll up. I am demoing for the modified. We're going to do 2 more here. So inhale, begin your lift up, arms, head, shoulders. Exhale, roll up to seated. Sit up nice and tall. And then hinge from your hips to fold over your legs. Stack upright on the inhale. Roll down even slower than you'd like. Make sure the chin doesn't press to chest. You're pushing through your heels and you're returning down to the earth. I'll go to do an original for the last one. Here we go. Inhaling, started. Exhale with power. Press the legs down, lift the heart high. Hinge, fold. Sitting tall on your breath in, we're going to stay seated. We're just going to exhale and lower the arms down beside us. Wonderful. All right, so I'm going to stay seated for a bit now. So if you're finding that the legs fully extended doesn't work for your body, bending your knees a bit can help with that. It can help you prop you up a bit taller. It can also relieve any tension that you might feel or grip in your hip flexors. I want us to work first with spinal rotation, and then we'll get to some upper back strengthening. I'm going to take a quarter turn forward so you can see me a little bit better. Feel free to stay as you are. All right, so we're going to do our spine twist this class with genie arms, one arm stacked on top of the other. Elbows level with the shoulders, so they're not above, they're not below, they're right in line. And then you're going to kind of press the arms towards the floor as you lift your heart to the sky. They're not going to drop. It's just the energy of the arms, if that makes sense. Get taller with your next inhale. Twist over to your right. Don't let your arms do any of the work. They're just along for the ride here. Use your core strength for all of this. Center on the inhale. I mean, our arms are working, right? So our shoulder muscles are working to keep the arms propped up in this position, but the arms aren't moving from their position right in front, right? So take it to the right again. Get taller as you rotate. Make sure the legs do not shift here. Center on the inhale. Keep those shoulders down and the chest up. Exhale over to the left. Back through center. Let's do 1 more to each. Over to the right. Center, breathe in. Over to the left. Come back through center. And then let's melt forward on the exhale. Let go of the feet, the head, the arms, and breathe into your back body. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Again, breath in. Roll up slowly on the breath out. Back to tall, seated. Reflexing of the feet, hugging the legs back together. We're next going to work with an overhead press. So you can imagine that you have weights in your hand, or if you happen to just have weights close beside you, you can offer them if you wish, but it's not necessary. We're still going to strengthen our shoulders, our lats, and our upper back behind us. So be very cognizant of all 3 of those areas working for movement while our powerhouse works for stability. So, imaginary weights held in each hand. Palms are forward. Pull your hands up to the outside of your shoulders. So already that movement back activates the rhomboids between your shoulder blades. You're going to feel that kind of squeezing towards each other so the elbows don't pull out in front. Yeah. Sit up nice and tall. When you exhale, press those imaginary weights straight above you, above the shoulders. So make sure they don't draw out in front. Then you're going to pull with resistance back down outside of your shoulders again. So exhale, press imaginary weight straight up. This is more shoulder strengthening. When you pull down, it's more upper back and lats. So there is resistance. We don't just drop them. As if we had a weighted bar above our head, we're trying to pull that bar behind the head when we come down. Okay, let's do 4 more. 4. And pull. 3 more, maintain your posture, keep the core tight, legs strong, and pull. 2 more times, press. And pull. So each movement has energy. 1 more time. Press up. Good. Pull down to the outside of your shoulders. And then nut forward to release. Let go, let go, let go, let go. Okay. Let's take it back up to seated again. This time we're going to cross our legs and take a brief moment to stretch out the neck and shoulder region. It's a hot area and a common area of request of being tense and sore and tight. So we are going to stretch it all out. So sitting nice and upright, arms beside you, tented fingers. Tip your head to the right, right ear to right shoulder. Make sure you didn't twist the head though, you're looking straight on. Wrap the right arm around. If that bothers your right shoulder, don't do it. Just keep the head as it is, okay? You don't have to use the arm. But if you are, lightly press down along the left side of your head. And then feel that left shoulder actively pull further away from the ear. Now, we start to lose our posture. So lift the chest up, pull the shoulders back, and then on an inhale, lower the chin towards your chest. And then exhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Again, chin coming down when you inhale. Chin lifting up when you exhale. Once more, chin to chest. Chin to sky. Head back to starting position. Let's release the hand. Let the arm come down. And then finally, gently lift the head up. This is a sensitive stretch, so we want to be very safe when we come out of that space. Now let's go to the other side, left ear to left shoulder, looking straight on. Arm wraps around, or it doesn't, your choice. Right? If it is though, lightly press down along the right side of your head. Actively pull right shoulder away. And again, if you start to kind of cave forward, can you find lift, length, and openness within this stretch? And then breathe in, lower your chin towards your chest. And then lift your chin up towards the sky. Again, chin coming down, breathe it in. Chin lifting up. Breathing out once more. Good, take your head back to that starting position. Release the hand, lower the arm, and then slowly lift the head back to centered position. From centered, we're going to go ahead and transition to tabletop for a brief moment. It's not going to be long. We're just going to get a little bit more movement for our spine and a little bit of work for our core. Yeah. So on hands and knees, spread fingers wide, supporting your wrists, knees beneath your hips, and then looking slightly forward rather than straight down. Pull the lower belly in and up to get a nice, again, neutral spine rather than a hyperextended one. We'll get there though, right? Flexion and extension. So cat and cow. Inhaling, we're letting the belly melt to the ground. We're lifting the tailbone. We're also lifting the heart, arching of the back. Then as you exhale, round your back, but engage your core. Pull the lower belly in and up, nice and tight. And then return to cow pose. Inhale, opening of the front body, stretching it all out. And then hollowing out the front body as your back body rounds and stretches here. Twice more. Inhale. This time when you're around your back, you can choose to press just the tops of your feet into the floor and hover your knees and shins off the ground. That offers more core strengthening. Keep though hollowing and lifting your hips to the sky. Shoulders stay over your wrists. Then you'll return the shins and knees down as you neutralize the spine and then arch the back. Breathe in, find lift. Again, if you wish to add on, you're going to press the tops of the feet down, lift the shins and knees, pull the hips up, draw shoulders over wrists, and pull the belly in and up. So then return back to neutral. And then a child's pose. Stretch the arms behind you to release out the shoulders. Let's go ahead from this space, transition onto our stomach. We're going to do some brief work with strengthening our back body. So all the muscles on our backside are, not all of them, but most of them are considered our core as well. You got the rector spinae, which runs along the side of your spine. You got your lower back muscles. You have your glutes as well, which all are incorporated. With that, also, we're strengthening shoulders and upper back as well. So let's go ahead and get that started on the stomach. Legs stretched back behind, arms stretched out in front. Hands and feet are shoulder width apart. Your pelvic triangle is your anchor, pressing it into the floor. Breathe in. Slowly lift everything off the ground. Your arms, your head, your heart, your legs. Arms should be framing your ears right here. Take it down on the inhale. So it's very tempting for our bodies to want to lift the chin and push it forward. That compresses the back of our neck. We don't want to do that. We want to keep it long. So always still looking down at the floor when you come up. All right, let's do that a few more times. So pelvic triangle anchors down, glutes squeeze, and then everything starts to peel up. And then take it down, breathe in. We're going to do 4 more of these. 4. And then release. 3 more, find lift. And then release back down. 2 more times. Good, float back to the ground. Everything with control. Once more, let's find our lift. Let's keep the lift. Firm up the arms and legs and swim here. Keep your head still and your torso steady. Breath big, chest up. 3, 2, 1. And then release. Cross one arm over the other. Rest forehead to your forearms. Lift your feet to the sky. Windshield wiper the legs. Lower back release here. Good. And then go ahead and stretch the legs behind you. Hug them together closely. Take your hands underneath your shoulders and just very gently come into a closed-legged child's pose. We're stretching more into our lower back here, so take a moment to breathe into that space. Inhale, send the breath down to your tailbone. And then exhale, let it go. Again, breath in. Breath out. Once more, inhaling. Let's roll it up on the exhale, nice and slowly. Stacking, stacking, stacking. Head is going to be the last thing that comes up. Okay, we're going to transition next to side body work. So strengthening outer hips, inner thighs, and waistline. Let's go ahead and get that cracking. We'll start lying on our left side to begin. So lying down on your left side, straight line with body. Stacked legs, hips, and shoulders. Hand to hip, elbow to sky. We're going to flex both of the feet. Left leg is pressed down as an anchor. Top leg is hovered with a subtle inward rotation and then lining the neck up with the spine. The only part of the body that has movement is that right leg. Everything else like a statue. So on your exhale, slowly pull that right leg up, push through the heel, and keep the toes pointed forward. Hover the leg on an inhale. So hip strength here, pulling the leg up without relying on momentum, and then control on the way to hover. 4 more, so not forgetting our core, every time the leg lifts, the belly firms.
Hover on an inhale. 3 more times. Good, hover. 2 more. Good, take it to hover. 1 last, lifting the leg up. Good, and then taking it back to hover, and then pointing the toes. Externally rotate the thigh by rolling open, and then you're going to take those toes down to the left ankle, the inside of it. Then step the toes to the inside of the calf. Hey, bud. Then step the toes to the inside of your thigh. And then less toe and more ball of foot now is going to press down into the leg. That's going to help stabilize you. So what we're going to do here is still work with that outer hip and that glute behind us. So what I'd like you to do here, keeping that right foot anchored into the leg, you're going to let the right knee pull out in front of you just a little bit. And then on the exhale, you're going to lift the knee up to sky and try to pull it back almost behind you. And that's going to activate the hip muscle. You're going to lower the knee in front on an inhale. Use your core strength to balance your body and then pull back up. So this is a lot of core and hip. 4 more. 4. Because what happens when the weight pulls out in front, the body likes to join it. Exhale, find lift, right? He wants to tip us over. So notice you might be a little wobbly. That's okay. Draw forward on an inhale, belly tight. And then use your hip and glute strength to lift and elevate the knee to the sky. 2 more times, coming down. So this is like a variation of our clamshell exercise, working a bit more into the core. Once more, bring the knee out in front, breathe in, make sure that elbow is still elevated straight up, and then exhale, squeeze that glute and pull that knee to sky. Let's stay here. Slide the leg all the way back out again, toes are still pointed. Draw circles. Breathe, steady. Take your time. 3, core still firm. 2, 1, pause. Reverse direction. Breath in, breath out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then internally rotate. Flex the foot. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, very slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the leg all the way down and then bend the knee to the floor in front of you. Tap the hip out. Give it a moment to break up and release that lactic acid. Okay, we're going to move into our left leg next, but we're going to stay on the sides. All right, left foot steps behind the right leg, right foot steps behind the left leg angles to the more in front of you, hand back to hip, elbow back to sky. Hovered leg, flexed foot, external rotation to start with. When you breathe out, lifting the leg a bit higher, and then taking it to hover on an inhale. Again, find lift, and then hover. We'll do 4 more of these. 4, lower belly strengthener, hover. 3 more, and hover. We got 2 more left to go here. Exhale, lift. Good, and hover. 1 more time, lifting leg, holding it there. Then pulse it, little guys, so a little quicker, micro pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then hold the leg high, breathe. 5, higher. 4, higher. 3, higher. 2, a little bit more. 1. Good, and then slowly take the leg all the way back down to the ground. Once you have, restack your body. Rest on your left arm if you were propped up. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Point your toes, lock the legs, and squeeze them together tight. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift up your head, lift up your legs, cinching in your right side body. Come down on your breath in. Again, exhale as the head and legs are lifting. That right hand doesn't move, right? It doesn't pull down, rather it just reaches higher to the sky. Come down on your inhale. We're doing 4 more of these. 4. And release. 3 more times, find lift. And release. Twice more. Good, bring it down. Small lifts here. Once more, lifting, but then holding the lift. Toes are still pointed. We're gonna flutter kick the legs. Tiny scissored movements while the arm lifted doesn't move. 3, little guys, 2, and then 1. Let's pause. Now, much slower, much bigger. Big scissors with the legs. Now that arm is really gonna wanna be thrown off balance here. So use a lot of core strength here to stabilize. 4, 3, 2, find nice range of motion here. 1, and then legs together. Release everything down, rest. Okay. Let's go ahead and transition to the other side. So however that's easiest for you. Sorry guys, my cat's in the foreground here, just taking a bath. Odie's, get down here. No, all right. So hopefully you guys can still see me okay. Lying on your right side, hand to hip, elbow to sky, feet are flexed, bottom leg anchors, top leg hovers, internal rotation, looking straight on. And here we begin again. Lifting the leg up on the exhale. Hover on an inhale. Exhale, pull the leg up, hip strength. Hover on an inhale. Let's do 4 more here. 4. And hover. 3 more. Good, check back in with that elbow, adjust if you need to. 2 more, find lift. Hover. 1 more time, leg lifting. Good, and then taking down to hover again. Point the toes, lock out that leg, and then roll the thigh open, external rotation. Take your toes to the inside of your right ankle, the inside of your calf, the inside of the thigh. You may have to physically kind of pull the ankle in close, and then really press the ball of your foot into the leg. Okay, so without the upper body rocking forward with the leg, can you lower the knee down in front of you a little bit? It's tricky, yeah? And then exhale, use your hip strength to pull the knee back. And then let the leg fall forward with control, always, right? So not falling, but guiding, right? I should say. And then pull up. Let's do 4 more here. So again, you might be wobbly, and that's to be expected. This is not a very balanced exercise. So there's that instability within. 3 more. Coming down, and as you do, feel your belly really firming to help keep your body nice and strong. Let's do 2 more here. Down on an inhale. Lift on the exhale. Once more. Knee down in front. And then exhale, lift the leg up. Keep the knee pointing to sky. Just slide the toes down the inside of that right leg until it comes to a hovered position. And then we begin to draw our circles. Keep strong here too with the core. You're going to need it to keep your body nice and statue-like. 3, 2, 1. Pause. Reverse. Breath in, breath out. 5. Where's that elbow? 4. Take your time. 3. We don't have to rush these. 2. Maintaining control. 1. Pause. Flex foot, internal rotation. Slow pulses up to sky for 5, 4, 3, pumping, 2, breathing, 1, and then the leg slowly returns all the way back down. Bend the knee to the ground in front of you. Tappy, tap, tap, tap of your hip. Okay. All right, so we move on to our right leg underneath us. So step the left foot behind that leg and then angle that leg a little bit more in front. Hand to hip, elbow to sky, flexed foot, hovered leg, external rotation of. Let's lift the leg up on an exhale. Lead with the heel of your foot. Hover the leg, breathe in. Lower core, pelvic floor, inner thigh. Exhale, pull up. Hover. 4 more of these. 4. And then hover. Did your elbow start falling back? Can you adjust that, please? Lift. Right, that's just an indicator that our body has fallen too far back. We want to still maintain this side body kind of positioning here. Good. One more time, let's lift that leg up, take it down half, and then micro pulses, pulses, pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, steady, 1, and then lift the leg high, hold there. 5, higher, 4, 3, a little bit higher then, 2, not with the elbow though, higher, 1, higher. Good, slowly take it all the way to the earth. Once that leg has grounded, restacking of the body. Resting on the right arm, extending left arm up, fingers spread, shoulder plugged in, toes pointed, legs squeezed, breathe in. Exhale head and exhale legs, lifting up. And then coming down, breathe in. Again, exhale, cinch in the left side as you pull up. And then take it down, inhale. We're doing 4 more. So notice that my left arm isn't moving at all. It's staying nice and vertical. 3 more. Taking it down. 2 more times. Breathe it out and lift it up. Hug those legs together. Tight, tight, tight for balance. Take it down on an inhale. Last one, lifting, holding lift, keep toes pointed, flutter, kick the legs, little paddles forward and back, tiny and a little bit on the quicker side. Arms still steady. 3, 2, 1. Pause. Now, much bigger and much slower. This is when it's really going to throw you off balance. Make sure that arm stays as steady as it can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs together, and let everything come down to the ground. Whew, rest. We are definitely going to get some side body stretches going on, so let's go ahead and press up to seated. We'll start with the right leg out in front of us, the left leg behind us. Sits bones grounded, sitting up upright as best you can. You're going to take that right arm as you breathe in and stretch up and over to your left side, getting a nice deep stretch here from hip all the way up through fingertips. So make sure if the arm has pulled out in front of you, I want you to pull it back. So that may mean having to bend the elbow a bit. The more the arm is in line with the ear, everything along the side gets stretched. If the arm pulls forward, it loses kind of all that kind of upper back side body region that we want to get into. Good. Breathe deep here, inhaling and exhaling. Good. Take 1 more breath in. Firm up the belly and stack tall. Let the arm come down, and then once the arm has lowered, you're going to rotate your torso so it's squared up to the inside of your right leg. You're going to pull the foot slightly more out in front as well as your back foot as well. Tent the fingers to frame the leg, and then kind of start to walk forward with those hands. Leaning closer into that left or right leg rather. But lead with your heart. So heart stretching long, spine long, breath big. Stretching into the hip. Let's take 1 more breath in here. And then as you exhale, walk the hands back in so that you can stack up nice and tall. Unravel to square forward. Take the left leg, bring it around to the front, right leg behind. The heels can be a nice and a bit closer in for this one as we stretch into our side body. The left arm reaching up, breathe in. Stretch up and over to your right side. Keep your left sit bone grounded, arm lined up with ear. Keeping posture, so you don't want to collapse, you don't want to cave in. We want to stay long in spine and opened throughout the chest. Breath in, breath out. Again, breathe in, getting all those little muscles, those intercostals right between the ribs. Let's do one more, breath in. Make sure the core tightens and then pull up slowly on the exhale. As you do, let the arm float down. Once it's lowered, take your feet and kind of push them just a little bit away. So your leg's about 90 degrees for both. Square up to the inside of your left leg, tented fingers beside it, and then begin to walk it out. It might only be one step forward. It could be a few or several. But again, never letting your heart pull back. Even though the hands are out first, imagine the chest was instead. Breathe into that left hip. Good. One more inhale here. Walking the hands in on the exhale. Stacking upright. Once you have here, you're going to take that right leg, extend it out to its side, and then do the same thing with the left leg. So you're in a straddled position. To get a bit deeper into this, one hand can be in front, one hand behind, either fists or tented fingers. You're going to push off the ground with your hands, lift your tush off the ground, and press the hips forward. It kind of opens up the legs a bit more. And then you can settle more into that straddle, and then both arms can come in front of you. Feet are flexed. So if sitting upright isn't working for your body, I'm going to have you lean into the stretch, meaning the hands come behind you, the chest lifts up. Make sure you're not collapsing down, right? We're not relaxing. We are actively pushing the pelvis forward, lifting the heart, and pulling the shoulders back, okay? If you can sit upright and that feels okay for you, this might be plenty of a stretch and you can stay just as you are. If you're wanting a bit more, the hands can walk forward and you can lean forward into the stretch, but it's hinging at hips, keeping a flat back here as well. So you're going to feel it's in the inner thighs and your groin. Breath, breath, breath. Big inhales, big exhales. Okay, let's do one more inhale. Exhale, walking the hands back in so that you can stack your shoulders above your hips. You'll then bend one leg at a time to come back into a cross-legged position. Once in cross legs, you're going to ground your sits bones straight down to the floor. Lift your heart up high to the sky, shoulders above your hips, and ribs seal down. Arms beside you, palms facing the sky. Breathing in, reach the arms out and up. Touch hands above, and then bring the hands within your heart space. 2 more times. Breathing in, sweep down, reach out and lift up. Exhale, bring within yourself, heart center. 1 more time, breathe in. Let your eyes follow your hands up to the sky, and then watch them as they come down to your heart center. Once here, let the chin come into chest, bow into yourself and close the eyes. Be thankful here and grateful for your body, its ability to move, stretch, breathe, strengthen, and connect. We are given one, so it's important that we always listen to it, honor it, respect it, and forever keep it moving. Thank you guys, wonderful practice. Namaste. All right, thanks guys once again for tuning in. This is definitely for the Friday class. This is also can be for the Monday evening class, right? So do what you can, modified when need to, and treat your body right. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining. I'll see you all soon. Happy holidays to all and whichever you celebrate. All right, good day.